Hello everyone, I'm Michael Holmes in Lviv in Ukraine, and the Ukrainian president releasing an impassioned message this morning praising his people for their heroism in fighting this Russian invasion. But he also took a swipe at Western allies, accusing them of not doing enough to get Russia to back off, saying that sanctions won't cut it and, quote, "We are defending our country alone," while the most powerful country in the world looked on from a distance. Powerful stuff. Now, Kyiv is being attacked again today. Air raid sirens going off earlier. At least 6 new explosions rattling the Ukrainian capital. Ukraine's foreign minister calling the strikes the worst in Kyiv since World War II. The Ukrainian government says this dramatic video shows one of its missile system shooting a Russian rocket out of the sky. Now, we're also hearing troops blew up a bridge just north of the capital to keep a Russian column of troops from advancing, and the Ukrainian military says so far it is holding them off. The Defense Ministry announcing that it has inflicted some 800 casualties on Russian forces. Not clear if that means deaths or injuries are included in that figure, and of course we cannot independently confirm that. Ukraine also says it's destroyed more than 30 Russian tanks and lost 137 of its own troops. Again, we can't confirm those numbers ourselves. Meanwhile, the Russian president defending the aggression, telling members of Moscow's business community that he had no choice but to invade.
I want to underline, that was such a desperate measure. They could have created such risks that no one knows how the country was to exist.
But the US president says Vladimir Putin chose this war and therefore must bear the consequences, imposing the harshest sanctions yet on Russia.
Putin's aggression against Ukraine will end up costing Russia dearly, economically and strategically. We will make sure of that. Putin will be a pariah on the international stage. Any nation that countenances Russia's naked aggression against Ukraine will be stained by association.
But should the US and Western allies be doing more? A source telling CNN that intelligence officials are keeping a lookout for any signs of potential Russian activity beyond Ukraine. CNN's Katie Bowe-Lewis joins me now from the Pentagon. And Katie, what are officials there watching tonight?
Yeah, really growing concern here in Washington and in the Pentagon tonight that the sword of Damocles is really hanging over Kyiv, over the Ukrainian capital tonight. Senior Biden administration officials briefing Capitol Hill earlier this evening, telling them that Russian troops that had moved into Ukraine from the north, from Belarus, have moved within 20 kilometers of the nation's capital. And of course, we understand that Russian forces still hold an airport quite near to the capital of Kyiv. Secretary of State Antony Blinken today saying publicly that the U.S. believes that Russia intends to try to encircle Kyiv. And so I think at this point, defense and intelligence officials are pretty firm in their assessment that Russia intends to try to topple the Zelensky government in Kyiv. And we know from past reporting, try to replace it with some kind of Russia-friendly, pro-Moscow proxy government.